Go get your soda then. We just got food, so I feel that. All right, hi everyone. So today obviously normally is D&D, but we are currently on a short hiatus of D&D because our poor DM and Endless as well are dealing with the fun, wonderful times that are Easter at Honey Baked Ham. So I decided to take advantage of that because there is an update. This is not the big update. That is the pristine cut, which does not have a release date yet. So this one is called The End of Everything, which is a still large but minor update in comparison to Pristine Cut, whenever that does come out. So I just wanted to see what was there. I, at the latest, will probably go till 9, just because I'm probably not, there's not going to be like a whole lot new to see. I may even end shorter than that, but I just wanted to get at least a little bit of streaming in this Monday, and Slay the Princess is, you know, a personal favorite. So hopefully my VTuber will behave itself. It looks a little weird with the comfy blanket, but it's cute. Actually, I probably should shrink it a little bit. Apologies, just a moment. We're gonna... No, not that big. Can't really see my face if you do that, but I fiddle with some settings, so I'm hoping she'll be a little bit less prone to freezing, which we will see. I guess. Hi, Princess. I guess new game? I guess. Again, I don't know what all is actually new.
You're on a path in the woods.
Ooh, that's new.
And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh, my chicken wings are still too hot.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Will it though, or will it just be the end of your world, narrator?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people.
What people?
You have to put an end to her. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out. Which she will, unless you do something about it.
This, I feel, should have been a red flag. Like, the danger comes if she gets out. Well, like, what danger? You didn't specify what danger happens. Like, narrator. It's just, it's your world. What
The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job.
And again, everything the narrator says is a fucking red flag.
People will listen to her, because listening to her is in their nature. And when they do, everything will come crashing down.
Yeah, that's not the issue.
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress?
I probably wouldn't
If
slay
anything,
them either.
Slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to
That's
society.
Rude, narrator.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Pause, we literally just got our food too.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
That makes no sense.
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her. Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
I don't have to do shit, my dude.
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules.
You kinda do. Sort of.
I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did. Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens, but a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies, and the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Sorry.
Then
Hard to get
each
that stuff
and
off
every
the phone.
one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Is it really lies if she
You make your way up
believes
the
them to
short
be
path
the
to
only
the cabin.
truth that she knows?
You'll find the princess within.
That is my question.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I don't know what you know what favor actually means, sir. I'm just saying. Also, if I clear my throat a lot, I live in Oregon. That's all you need to know.
Her voice softly carries up
Allergies.
the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Hi!
Don't be a stranger. It's been so
I don't
long
think I
since I've
resist
had any
you. Hi.
visitors. Please, come downstairs.
What's up? What's up, princess?
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
I'm just straight up
Only
gonna be
making
nice
this
to her.
more difficult.
Don't care.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
No, you're doing the right thing.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
Hang on. Chicken.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Is someone else here?
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
What to?
Easier for whom?
What to, narrator?
Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
Mess you put me in.
I heard the door slam.
Bitch.
They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that. Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh.
The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm.
Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
I don't think we had the limb last time. That's new.
She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
No, she didn't.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the
Narrator,
princess
you're rude.
approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Watch me.
What are you doing?
There is Warren.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Bet you won't. Resist.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn
that's
resistance,
a new image. Okay, so there is
the
like
princess takes a
visibly new
cautious
stuff.
step forward.
And I actually remember, or don't remember. It's more like, I don't remember seeing this, therefore it's probably new. Alright, just a second.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone.
Says who? Says only
Whatever.
you.
She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
I forgive you, baby.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Whoops. Hi, damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A terrible sense of déjà vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Is it though?
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
I hope it's the four of us.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving. We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Sure.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back
Sure.
here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Kind of. It was one part me not listening to you, and one part you trying to fuck us over.
You were the one who did us in, villain.
Exactly. Exactly. Spittin' gets it.
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price. I beg to differ.
Me too, Spittin'.
Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme.
Dastardly.
That's right, you can't stop all of us. Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call. Just be quick about it.
Oh.
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice.
Hero kind of preening a little bit.
Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
Narrator, you said the quiet part out loud.
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world. Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is. I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail will just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Okay, I have gotten through my chicken. Apologies. I have other food, but hopefully it won't be as noisy. I was trying to be quiet. It's hard.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
I don't want to take you at your word, narrator.
Great. If you don't mind, the whole
That's what I
world is
think.
waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
I'm sorry. I am a disgusting VTuber. There's a reason I am a slime.
a warning. Before she will lie.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
But it's amusing. More amusing than you, sir.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Yes.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror.
Have you survived Ham Hell? Are you two just deader than dead?
There isn't.
I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here.
In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
I want to see how
That's
handsome.
a great idea. We have to make sure we're looking our best before we save her.
I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do? Very different.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted.
No, I refuse.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door.
I'm gonna do everything in my
It's
power
a
to
wall.
piss you off
There
again.
isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look.
It's not a cabin wall, though. It's a castle wall.
But it was there a second ago.
And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
I think Kira's a little bit too awkward to sweep anybody off their feet. Sorry, Quiet. We love you, but you are the definition of an awkward bird. Into the basement. I just dropped my lid from my chapstick.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls.
Nerd, awkward,
The
awkwardest
basement
nerd
almost
bird.
seems
Nerd
welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
Shut up, yes.
Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
Yep. Sure frickin' have.
That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
I'm never gonna do it right. Never.
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
I mean, not anymore. I did it first. I don't think it's weird anymore, though.
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her. If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
I didn't get to play with her archetype as much last time. I just never got back around to doing Damsel again. It is just really interesting that her entire thing is literally just, whatever you say goes is fine because I have no autonomy. Like, I love you, Damsel, but you're problematic in your own way.
To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
Oh, fool yourself there, narrator.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Not entirely. No, your pepperonis keep trying to escape. I just want to eat you.
I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a misanthrope.
Lucky for you, I did destroy the world. I destroyed all of it, and made it awful for everyone.
I love you, baby girl. I support women's wrongs.
I'd point out that she just admitted to obliterating the entire world, but I guess that wouldn't actually move you. Oh, it moves me. Whatever we do next, we should do our best to not let her out.
But have you seen her angelic face? She should get a pass. She just wanted to make us happy. By destroying the world? Apparently, yes.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone. She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
You died, and now we're talking.
You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon.
Thank you.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
And he does.
You wouldn't. I would.
And he did.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful
Tits.
embrace. Ugh.
Tits.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
Let me guess. End the world?
Oh yeah. Witch and damsel in the same room would be awful.
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I mean, he has. He was just also very dumb about it.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do? I just want to make you happy.
Oh yeah. So, I didn't do this before, but the more you question her, the more she degrades.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
Note that the music has slightly changed. Oh, I've never seen that one. I think you just keep going with... I'm gonna save.
I just want to
Yep.
make you happy.
Oh god! Her voice gets all weird. Oh, it's creepy.
Is she broken? What's going on?
Yeah, this is what I missed last time I played. Yes, yeah.
What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
make you happy.
She's unraveling.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a
Smitten?
big deal.
Smitten, you have to be seeing this. Come on.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Oh.
Is it just me, or does it feel
No.
like we're alone right now?
And they
Like, we're
lived
the
happily
only
ever
ones here.
after. It's all she wanted was the thing, the achievement. Oh, and there she goes. You don't get the chance to ask another question. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in
No.
her place.
She was our perfect match.
Oh no, Smitten. It's okay.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? It is. Does that mean the world ended? A villain vanquished?
Why do you sound so unsure?
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right? You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. I can't believe she was taken away from us. The nerve. I'm begging you, don't do this.
You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It is time for you to see what is in it. I am Burp. It is you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. To the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her. Is she... Oh, it's still the degraded version too.
In the long quiet, and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Hang on.
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more. I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is soft and delicate. We molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose. How can the world have ended if we are talking? I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. I know only that they are. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Everything, until we meet again. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to...
Oh, sorry.
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die. And bring the deconstructed damsel to her.
You're on a path
was a new one.
in the woods.
Or
And
at
at
least
the
new
end
for
of
me.
that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin, you're here to...
You can skip over previously seen dialogue by hitting tab on your keyboard or R1 on your controller. So now the question is, who do I go after? I am curious. Apologies while I sit here on this screen for a moment. I have 7 missing hidden achievements. Oh, Prison of the Mind has become your own jailers, where you literally lock yourself up. Free someone who doesn't want to be freed. Decognize for your fight your foe. Fool a predator by faking your own death. Have a voice ruin your happy ending. Huh. Curious about that one. I have quite a few for the witch, for witch still, but they're all like individual. Like I would have to choose that route to get it. Princess Restless Thought achievement. Take the blade, slay the prisoner, and then accept the narrator's reward. Oh, it's skeptic. Prisoner. Ugh. I remember how to get the prisoner. Go silent, take the blade, tighten your grip, drop it. Talk to her, try to free her, resist. I think. Don't know if it's gonna let me get prisoner, but I'm gonna try. Silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
I don't know why it's not working. There I go. Now I'm being pet.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not ignore him. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note, the blade, is your
Take it.
You take the blade. The door to her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds
Hi, baby.
dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge.
Don't let it fool
Come
you.
here often.
It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Oh, I will have to check that out after I play.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Apparently, the April Fool's Day for Guild Wars 2 this year is Longcat. Oh! Holy shit. You sure did just redeem that.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
When the next chapter starts, I will go get the treats.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
They technically got treats earlier, but I can't ignore a redeem. And despite one earlier incident this morning, they've been pretty good kids.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Though boy do they know where they are now and they keep trying to get into the box.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Drop it! Clink.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Do you? So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking. Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her. You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. Right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh? Have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance.
He sure does.
If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door, the knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You
Yes,
won't like what happens if you do that. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Because she isn't.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Oh, good.
Stop
Warner is still
that.
there. Okay.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
Sure will.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Totally. Okay. Pausing right there. I will be right back. And I do not see a Reiko though. Reiko, kitty, kitty, kitty! Okay, guys. Oh, you guys are so funny. Take it, Tibby. That's yours, yeah. Mimi. Oh my gosh, she's a little whine. Mimi gave a little whine. There you go, Ruru. Tibby. Just remember that. Gotta save some for your bigger sister. Oh, gosh. Ruru's a little rough with it. Take it, Mimi. There you go. Good girl. Tibby Tib. There you go. And to Mimi again. And to Rue. And to Tibby Tib. And to Rue. And to Mimi again. Mimi. There you go. Don't land on your brother. Rico! I might have to go find her. She might be in the bedroom. She might not have realized it's treat time. My babies, yes. Oh, I know. I know. You guys love this stuff so much. So very. Oh my gosh, Mimi. So Tib is very gentle. Like, even if he puts his paw on me, he doesn't do claws. Mimi is slightly less gentle, mainly because she'll occasionally accidentally do claws. But she also likes to, like, pull herself all the way up and, like, grab my hand with both of her paws. Rue, on the other hand, almost takes my finger off every time with his teeth. Okay, I'm gonna save the rest of these for your big sister, okay? I know. This is the worst thing ever, to be cut off. I love you all, though. Yes, I love you all so much. No, I don't have any more. See? See, they're gone. No more. No more. I will keep these to see if Reiko comes around, and if not, she will just get them when I go back to my bedroom. You guys could think endless for that. Get back into my seat. Okay. The prisoner, I got
You're
it.
on
Yay.
a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Excuse me.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I really think there should be an achievement for approaching the mirror every time.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't... What are you talking about? You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago.
But there was a hole here.
And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back. You take the blade from... Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints?
If anything, they'll make your job easier.
I wish I had saved it because I don't think I did. But somebody did art where, because you can lock yourself up with the other chain. Somebody did art that's literally just a smiling quiet sitting there completely blissfully unaware in the chain, in the cuff, and prisoner just staring at him.
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
We shout music intensifies. Absolutely. Okay. Take the blade. Slay the prisoner, and then accept the narrator's reward. Alright, well. I'm sorry, madame.
Without a moment of hesitation, you charge the princess, your blade primed to deliver a lethal strike.
I am not a damsel to be helplessly murdered.
As you move to strike the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
Oh, did I have to talk first? I probably had to talk first.
Drop it, or you die.
I thought this was going to be a safe move, but she's going to kill us. Just listen to her, do what she says. How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you. You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike. You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart.
Ouch.
The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was
Okay.
it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. I don't like this. It was too easy. It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now. You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises? It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone. And especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty, and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here.
It is so empty. After fucking empty reward.
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it. With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you.
It's kind of tilty.
You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
Uphill and slightly askew.
windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows. But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Like hell it is. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win. That's great. Congratulations. You've earned it. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. He's just saying things. The voice's protestations fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Oops. I think I was...
No.
Oh, no.
You stop
Oh.
that. Stop all this nonsense. You really don't want to be happy, do you?
Oh, I'm breathing.
We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over.
Skeptic says, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Quite literally.
He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you. You goddamn spiteful bastard. You really want to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose? Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want? I don't have to answer that. That's all we needed to hear. You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
Am I, though?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Am I?
You're on a path
Oh, John Gray.
in the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place. There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling. That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay? I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine. He's not wrong. Sentimentality won't help us here. We need scientific rigor.
anything missing on the grave, but I guess we'll just go through it.
So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2?
It's our 3rd. What gave it away?
Your open discussions. You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time? So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage.
That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed. It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade. And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave.
You already slew her? And you survived?
Yes.
Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves. Why?
Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward.
Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy. We weren't.
We were bored.
You were bored. I was just unhappy. There were still answers that we needed to find. It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything.
Did I, though?
How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us? The world doesn't stay saved if you die. And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead.
Oh, now isn't that interesting? I assumed she'd just be a pile of old bones. But perhaps she's not. There's only one way to find out. We should go see her.
Yes, things are different, aren't they?
Excuse me.
If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Her influence? What's that supposed to mean? It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so much more difficult than it has to be. And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about this now before I definitely make things worse.
Oh, come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know?
No. Is there a reason it would be raining?
If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best her influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse.
Cold, you are upsetting.
She'll find a way out eventually and the world will still end. The only way this resolves is if you find her and slay her before that happens.
And then accept eternity, which we don't want to do, and we've already made that much clear, haven't we, narrator?
We already know he wants us to slay her. Anything he says is tainted by his motivations.
Turn around and leave, go to the cabin. I'm fine with either. So long as we don't just do the same thing again. That would be boring.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, alright?
Yes, sir.
What we do is entirely up to us.
And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right?
You aren't here to solve a mystery, you're here to save the world. That's what you say. But how can we be sure?
We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us.
Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world.
Why?
Because we should. I don't know. It's important.
Is it?
Yes. I think. For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real. Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else? Maybe we are. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await. As soon as you enter the cabin, you're struck by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mould and death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive. But you're not alone.
Hello, ma'am.
You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall. Is that her? It's like she isn't even there. See? We killed her. You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door, it's just that damn mirror again. Yes, the mirror that he can't see. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror, there's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange, there's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
'Cause there isn't.
Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it. But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue.
Oh, God. Body,
We've seen
why?
what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement? You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's still so hazy. We should try and clean it off. Yes. Trying to touch it does seem to be the magic spell to get it out of our way. Maybe it won't disappear this time and we'll finally get a good look at ourselves. We should explore every option. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. Yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things. No way left to go but down. The door to the basement groans open. The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner. You receive no response. Do you think she's upset with us? I don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so exposed. She doesn't seem fully there. I'm not sure she's even capable of being upset. You aren't helping. Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants. It won't do anything. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters. Her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place. with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do? She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is. Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock.
He did indeed fuck up.
You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying, or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table. Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
Yeah, she can talk.
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does is watch you in shadowed silence. Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it? It is, and it's rising fast. Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I wonder how it'll feel. Bad, I bet. I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how
Not
astute.
usually, no.
Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead? The princess eyes you with a disaffected gaze as you rush up the stairs, but you don't make it past the first few steps. The door bursts open, a powerful wave of water crashing down towards you. You're swept up in the flood. Your head slams into the basement wall. You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out. It's so dark and cold, I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this? Just keep breathing, we'll figure this out. Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle. You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it. Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness. I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please. The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix. And there's not a lot we can do about the present either. Not unless we think, like we should have been doing all along. But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your arm is filled with water, the same as mine filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different.
And then we didn't die, but your lungs don't fill, nor will they ever. It is time for you to leave.
She's gone. And there's...
But it feels so bad, like looking into it.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
You don't need to comfort them. Okay.
It feels too...
Whatever makes you...
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but they are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them you are a gate to something more, and you are something more than that, too. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
I feel like this is new. I don't remember being able to say this.
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. This one is guarded sorrow. She saw herself as alone, but in the end had the courage to share with another. She will make for a deep heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally been heard. I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
And I'm dead again.
You're here. You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
Do.
You'll find the princess within.
Want to do Witch, or do we want to do Nightmare? Oh, is that? I mean, I think Jay's the only one watching. Unless that's still on quiet what he wants. Unless it's still gone. Unless went to go eat. We shop theme is not a princess. I think the closest you can get with that one is damsel. Damsel is the Wii Shop theme, but like slowly getting more and more distorted. Yeah, we saw Tower, which is the super powerful, like, literally step on me, mommy. I mean, Adversary is still pretty step on me, mommy, but Tower is step on me, mommy. Yeah, we could do Adversary. I have to remember how to do Adversary, but we'll see. Slay the princess, Adversary. All right. Or no. Tower and the big bitch is that's the route. Fury or Adversary is Eye of the Needle or Fury with the Voice of the Stubborn. Oh hey, Fury is getting bonus content in Pristine Cut. That's nice to know. Rick, get out from underneath my table. You're not getting anything from down here. You're not getting anything, period. I feel like we took Eye of the Needle to her and Fury we fought? Possibly. Armed with the blade, goes to kill her, dodges and gives a powerful blow. To fight, by the time player kills the princess, he too dies from his injuries. Okay, so take blade, talk, fight. Have you tried the Fury? Tried the so Pristine, I mentioned this at the beginning, I don't know if you heard me talking about it. So this is the End of Everything update. The End of Everything update is some quality of life stuff, some additional like imagery, and I think some new lines. The Pristine Cut that's coming out later this year, does not have a date yet, is the big update that's going to have all the bonus routes. Which I was reading up on that and I almost was like, I don't know, I was like, do I want to play tonight or don't I? But I really did want to stream, so mostly at this point it's just me replaying and going for just, I guess, another different ending, because I think I've done As Gods and I think I've done As Lovers. And I think there's one more I'm missing, possibly more. So it really doesn't matter which princesses I get so much, but I do think that I have not done much with Adversary / Fury / Eye of the Needle. So I am super curious about it too. I'm excited for Pristine Cut, and I am definitely playing again when Pristine Cut comes out. I just was like, this is technically also a large update, large-ish.
We're not going to go ignore him.
Which is also why I was like, I'll probably only play till like 9.
The interior of the blade.
I'm probably gonna skip.
The door to
a
the
lot
base.
of
Her
this
voice.
Who's
now.
there?
She said, "Don't let it." Good.
Continue?
You're still listening to reason. You walk down the. She's so. Focus on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat.
Trivia: when asked to voice the adversary, the instruction to the VA actor was "Dommy mommy." I mean, yes. We can also take the adversary to her, which I think I did do. I don't remember. There's so many of them.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what... You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Talk to her once. Tighten grip. Second round of dialogue. Pick any option except slaying her or questioning if she's armed. Choose to attack her on the third round.
You're so close. Don't give up. You've come this far. No.
Oh, threatened, are we? You poor thing. Drop the knife, and of course we can talk.
Don't know if I got that right, but...
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurt! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
Finish the job.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job.
But that's where all the blood's supposed to be.
The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh,
The two of you fall to the floor.
this was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Got her.
You're on a path. You're here. A warning. She will lie.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Okay, Nimona.
Are you sure about that?
The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Crystal, let's just get on with it already.
I mean, let's be real. Each version of the hero really hasn't fought anything until he goes up against
The
the
cabin
princess.
is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
I kind of want to do this one. I don't know if I did this last time.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Yeah. Okay, requires the knife. I gotta take the knife with me. Oh god, fucking allergies. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult.
I know the mirror doesn't do anything. Also, it just vanishes if you go to the door, which is interesting.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulphuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight.
I'm gonna have a good time.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. And you brought your little knife, too. Yes. I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
haven't decided what I'm doing yet.
And why not? You decided what to do with me quickly enough last time. Are you scared I'm going to kill you again? Maybe you're worried I'll put you down for good this time. If you want to talk, I guess I can talk. But you should come a little closer first.
Alright, fine. If you're not going to address it, I will. What? You've already met the princess has already met you, and the two of you killed each other. Did you think you'd be able to just openly talk about all that without me noticing? Maybe. You did seem to just gloss over the whole thing for a while. Of course I glossed over it. When a colleague says something insane, glossing over it is one of the best ways to stay focused and keep moving forward. But enough is enough. I believe you. And that's all the more reason to take this seriously. You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember. Are you okay? Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
Do you see how alive I am right now? Just because it bothers you, I'm going to take this even less seriously. You don't know the depths of my apathy.
You're joking, right? I'm just going to pretend that you're joking.
Yeah, you better be joking. We can't win unless you take this seriously.
Blade held tight in your hand, you take a cautious step towards the princess. You stop a few feet short of her reach, her chains taut as she stares down at you. She's a lot bigger than I thought she was.
Why do you sound so scared? We can take her.
Well, what do you want? Because every second we waste talking is a second we could spend killing each other instead.
But I don't want to do that.
Oh, where is it?
Free?
The princess glances down at her chains.
Oh, you mean these? They're just metal. They're nothing.
She steps forward, her bindings creaking under the pressure of her strength. And then they snap. It was only a matter of time, but she's loose. Dear Lord. What do we do? You took the blade. How about you use it?
Damn it! So, there was supposed to be an option. Either when it first appears, or after stepping closer to talk to her. The narrator won't let you, and instead make you raise a middle finger. She'll retaliate with the same, and kill you if you do, leading to Eye of the Needle. And I don't know why I didn't get the option to attempt to free her.
Exactly. We do exactly what I've been telling you to do since the second we got here.
What? Did you think you were safe standing right outside my grasp? The only reason I haven't drawn blood is because I want to make sure that your heart is in it. I don't like fighting someone with a weak spirit. But go ahead. Keep trying my patience.
That would have been so great. I know. Yeah, why didn't attempt to free her not come up? Big lady. Big lady. Let me see my... I don't Oh, hey, wait. Think you ought to save. Okay, into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Hang on, sorry, I'm closing some stuff. I'm gonna try to get this.
This isn't good. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your blood as you descend the final step. Looks like she could rip those
Oh, it's you again. And you brought your little... I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
So I explore and say, I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. I'm gonna save this here.
And why not? You decided what to do with me quickly enough last time. Are you scared I'm going to kill you again? Maybe you're worried I'll put you down for good this time. If you want to talk, I guess I can talk. But you should come a little closer first.
Alright, fine. If you're not going to address... What? You've already met the prince? Maybe. Of course you don't... Of course
I also like this one. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never died. Do you see how alive I am right now? Would someone as alive as me already have died? I don't think so.
Don't try to lie to me. Just please take this seriously.
Agreed. We can't win unless you treat this fight with the gravity it deserves.
I'm actually here to free. Maybe that's it? I'm gonna say this one.
Free her? You aren't... I don't know why I'm even bothering, to be honest. You know the stakes of the situation.
Who says I want to be free?
Are you sure we want to look a gift horse in the mouth right now? If she doesn't want to leave, doesn't this whole situation just work out for everyone?
There's nothing out there for me. The only thing I care about is right here. All I want is to keep knowing what it feels like to kill you and be killed by you. I want to feel that knife split me open. I want to feel your bones snap beneath my fists.
I think I'll just let the princess speak for herself here. Leaving her in the basement isn't an answer. You have to make a choice.
And there's only one choice worth making. Fight her. Win.
There he is. Attempt to free
I'm
the princess.
sorry, did I hear that right? Did you just say you're going to try and free her?
She doesn't even want to be free.
Exactly. So beyond the apocalyptic moral implications of letting her out, how do we even think that's going to work? I mean, we have a weapon, right? We could always just cut her out, yeah? While she's trying to kill you. Yeah, why not? And then what? Do you think she'll just follow you out of here? Maybe. I don't know. It's worth a shot, isn't it? No, it's not. Actually, no, you're not. I have a responsibility to the world here, and I'm not just going to let you throw yourself into a scenario where the literal best outcome is the end of everything. Until you come up with any other idea, your body remains standing rigidly in place.
What do you think you're doing? You can't just order our body around like it's some sort of doll.
Watch me. Your left arm lifts towards the ceiling and your hand twists into an obscene gesture. See, I can make you do whatever I want.
I love it. Of course, she thinks that you're doing it to her, when really, you're doing it to yourself.
So what? You barely managed to lift our arm.
What are you doing? What is that? Why are you moving so weird?
The princess, taken aback, flashes her own rude gesture in return.
Thank you, princess.
Hey, you, decision maker. I want us to fight her as much as he wants us to kill her, but this is boorish. Just ignore him. If you want to try and free her, I don't think there's much he can do to actually stop you.
Oh, sure, I'm gonna go for free. Go for broke, fuck it, we ball. I mean, quite literally. Fuck it, we ball.
You know what? Fine. Blade in hand, you charge forward to try and free the princess from her bindings.
Finally. I have no idea what you were just doing, but I'm glad it's over.
As you slash across her wrist, her elbow comes crashing down on your skull. An unsettling crack echoes in your ears. It's a devastating blow. Your body crumples to the floor, limbs suddenly refusing to respond. This might be it.
That's it, huh? You've gotten really soft.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Really? In just one blow? Yes.
Oh, come on, that's hardly fair. We're not dead. You're just flipping the table over.
It is what it is. You're dead. Finished. Over.
All right, fine. This whole thing's a frustrating mess anyways. We're better off with a fresh start. I'll see you two next time.
Cheers.
You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damn focused on freeing her, we wouldn't have died back there.
You're strong, but you're bullheaded. This isn't a fight, it's a puzzle. She's stronger than us, but we can use that to our advantage.
I hate puzzles.
Yeah, of course you do.
I've never done a puzzle myself, but anything that doesn't get us beaten to death is good in my book. What do you have in mind?
We're just totally ignoring the narrator at this point.
Same thing as last time, only we'll be smarter about it. We're getting her out of there. After that, we're seeing what happens.
Are you insane? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If she gets out of here, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met.
Enlighten me then.
I have no memory of meeting you, but you've clearly seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. You'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here.
So where does that leave us?
It leaves us exactly where we started, and where I'm sure you've already been before. The princess, left unhindered, will bring about the end of the world. You have to put a stop to her, and the only way to do that is to slay her.
But we didn't stop her last time. We died. Yet here we are in a world unended. A different world unended, to be sure, but there's still solid ground beneath our feet. What the hell are you going on about? Even if he isn't lying, reality clearly continues to be real. So I want to see what happens when she leaves. I think we all need to see the truth.
You absolutely do not need to see that. I've already told you the truth, and the only thing to see after she leaves is the end of everything. It's not worth it.
Screw it. I'm sick of this smug asshole telling us what to do. If you need help busting her out of there, I'm your man. Welcome aboard. And if things go bad once we get her out of the cabin, well, at least you'll be able to get the fight you wanted.
The rest of you had better keep those two in check. They're far along the edge of a dangerous path. Don't let them go any further.
I like dangerous paths. Let's go.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament.
No last advice for us? No words of warning?
From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind.
I don't know. Screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. There'll be time for that later. For now, you know what you have to do.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right.
But there's nowhere to go in here. This is just a hallway with a mirror at the end of it.
A mirror? But there isn't a mirror here. There's the iron altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. Does he really not see it?
Or maybe what we see as a mirror, he sees as a door.
It is a door. And before you ask, no, it's not a mirror-shaped door. The object at the end of this room is both door-shaped and a door. There shouldn't be any room for misinterpretation.
Who cares what it is? It's in our way, we should smash it. Take it.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Good. Wouldn't want to be pushed around without a way to push back. And she likes when we can push back, doesn't she?
Jesus, stubborn.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there, it's right in front of you. It's a bit grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean? You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her, her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
She hasn't changed as much as she did the time before. She still wants a fight, which means we still know her. We can use that to our advantage.
That's not how this works. I'm all chained up, remember? How about you come down here and fight me?
Yeah, we'll just have to get her to break 'em.
You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you.
We best remember how to get back up. The last thing we want is to be stuck between a wall and a raging devil.
You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
If we're trying to break her out, I doubt she'll come willingly. We'll have to use ourselves as bait.
I really don't like the sound of this.
It's the only way to get us both out. And we need to see what happens when she leaves the cabin.
You know what? I should have tried to intervene earlier because I can't let you do that. I won't.
Tough shit. We're the ones in control here.
It's not the...
Yeah, doesn't feel nice to be yanked around against your will, does it?
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
The princess scoffs.
Oh, you're up to something tricky, aren't you?
No.
You're teasing me with what I want, but I'm sick of waiting. I'm not going to let you give me another bad fight. I'm going to get what I want.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap.
Okay, she's taken the bait. Now let's get out of here.
Fucking run!
Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
We're planning on it. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same?
You continue to the door. It'd be a real shame if it was stuck. Don't listen to him. Locks are nothing, just barrel through.
No!
Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You bastard. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. So, this is what the end looks like.
What is this place? Where are we? This doesn't feel right. It's cold. Why is it so cold? I feel so tired.
Whoops. You have been taken. Oh, the blind leading the blind. Free someone who doesn't want to be freed. You want to fight? I mean, I got the achieve, so...
You step forward, stopping just outside the reach of her chains. The princess scoffs.
Oh, you're up to something tricky, aren't you? You're teasing me with what I want, but I'm sick of waiting. I'm not going to let you give me another bad fight. I'm going to get what I want.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap.
Okay, she's taken the bait. Now let's get out of here.
Oh, I think the only option I have is
Without
to just
hesitation, you turn back the way you
her
came
out.
and scramble up the ledge towards
Or
the tunnel.
die at the door.
As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do. Instead,
Anywhere
Hey,
you
hang
go,
Let me try a different one. Auto. Try this one? Or load.
dead certain. Everything inside of me screams for it.
this is getting us nowhere. Agreed. We'll have to go. You've nowhere to go but down.
I think if I don't
You start the difficult journey,
choose
gripping the stone,
that I want to try
lowering
to
yourself
free her.
foot by grueling foot.
maybe.
But
We'll
soon,
see. I'll figure it
there
out.
is solid ground. We best remember how to get back up. The last thing we want is to be stuck between a wall. You turn to face what lies, her face wide.
There you are.
If we're trying, it's the only way. You know what? I should have tried to into tough shit. We're the ones in control here.
It's not the...
Yeah, doesn't feel nice to be yanked around against your will, does it?
Well, what are you waiting? So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
I think you just lead her out. I'm not seeing any other option. Except for maybe saying I'm not fighting you. Oh, slay! Never mind. You are correct.
Change of plans, boys.
We fight.
I thought we would. You charge headlong into the princess, blade flashing in the dim light of the basement.
Yes, 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 yes! Finally, you get it!
Damn, lady.
For a moment, the scales feel balanced, each of you inflicting debilitating wounds on the other, striking in a dizzying synchronicity. But it isn't long before they tip in her favor. The cuts and bruises you've inflicted seem little more than superficial, barely so much as slowing her down as she continues her onslaught. You, in contrast, are finding it harder to stand as your body gradually becomes less responsive, less powerful, less stable. You can tell she's trying to make it last, but all it would take is one meaningful strike. The coup de grace.
This was good, but you could have been so much better. I'm beyond you now.
Here it comes. I'll see you all on the other side.
Okay. We still got to fight.
She's gone. Where did she go? And there's that mirror again.
It was a fight.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
Okay.
Maybe there'll be... Feels too...
Okay, so it's already 8:30. God damn it, do I have to bring her 4 or do I have to bring her 5? I can never remember. I think I can ask her where I'm at. She's so big. She's so big!
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of all of me. We will know when we near.
Okay, so I think it's 5. What do you think of this vessel?
This one yearns to grow and
She'll
struggle.
make her face hurt.
Even now I feel a will pushing against mine, not realizing that we are one. She will make for a fierce heart. Do not mourn her. We will provide her with the growth she fought for. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a path in the woods.
So
And
which
at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a
which is I get her
princess.
trust first and then I kill her. And then she kills me and that gives me Thorn. I think the other one I haven't done a whole lot with was Wild? I think it's Wild. No, it's not Wild. What is Wild? Is it... I don't know. Oh, it is the wild. So what's the one that's the animal? No, it's not the Fury. The Den. That's one I haven't done much with. The Den and the Beast. The Voice of the Hunted. Kind of in this mode of like, I would rather end early than late. But again, we don't have a date for the Pristine Cut yet. There's Idea and Skeptic and Hero talking about the plan, and Stubborn just... Stubborn just... Fuck you, we ball! Yeah, that was basically him. Just change of plans! Sometimes it do be like that. Okay, well... Yeah, I'm just kind of in this mode of like... You know when you want to do like 5 different things and your brain is trying to pull you back to one of the things that you were wanting to do, but it's not what you're doing at that moment? But yeah, that's my brain right now. It's definitely doing that. It's like, you want to go back and play more 15, don't you? Don't you? I'm like, yeah, I kinda do. At least for a little bit. Yeah, because I have an appointment tomorrow, so I do have to get up at a reasonable-ish time and actually be alive before 2. But what I'll do, I'm gonna go ahead and save here. Because I have a feeling there's probably going to be at least some lull in between ending this current campaign and getting started on our next one. Because we'll also have to figure out like logistics and who all's going to be in it. I figured that would probably be a good spot to come back to this. But if, for whatever reason, they announce the release date for Pristine Cut and it is within that time frame, and I don't come back to this before then, because I mean, we saw a couple of new-ish things, but as I'm seeing, it's not a whole lot, which makes sense. I think a lot of it is more like, again, quality of life and like ambient stuff like the music and things like that, which makes sense because, you know, it's not going to be the giant update. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end here. If you guys don't mind, I think I'm going to do a raid on Minty. To the very least, go say hello and see what she is up to. I probably won't stay in her chat for too terribly long, but yeah, we can chat on Discord, and I'll have my phone. And I have a plug-in on my big chair now, which is very nice. So I can charge my phone and it won't lose its battery. So yeah, I will go ahead and put us all on a raid for Minty. Yeah, no, it was nice to see the new stuff and a couple of the things that we didn't see before, and getting the flip off. The flip off was amazing. I'm so glad that exists. But yeah, it says there's supposed to be bonus content for a bunch of the different routes. I don't think it's going to be all of them. I know Adversary has been mentioned. The flip off was so good. But I am looking forward to when it does happen, and I do intend to continue playing, at the very least, either to finish up this route and get a different ending, or when Pristine Cut comes out. So thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it so very, very much. The Jello Wiggles. Wiggle, wiggle. And we're gonna do it real quick. No, she's doing some art, not just VTube stuff. which is always nice. So I'm also just yawning today, even though I slept. Well, I probably didn't sleep as much as I should have. That's been a habit lately. I have been not going to sleep at a good time because I keep staying up reading fic. I haven't read fic in so long, and a 15 has brought me back to things I never thought I would be back at. Can't help it. I love the boys. They're so good. Okay, I'm gonna start the raid. Have a good night, everybody. Love you all. Raid in, raid now. Good night. Good night.
I've been chillin'. Just vibe. Rain, thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream?